Hello. In this video, we are going to explore the Z-index command in CSS just to kind of see how it can help us kind of find the position of things when they're layered on top of each other. So I have a pretty simple setup here. I've created three divisions, which basically are box red, class box orange, and class box green. And I've actually placed them in my HTML in the order of box red, box orange, box green. I've added some CSS for each of these, and so the CSS will set the color using background, sets the height and width to 100 in both cases. And then I've set the position, and this is just to help with this situation. If you haven't talked a lot about position or you haven't explored position yet, take a look at my video on web development basics around position. But basically what I've done is I've fixed them to the top left corner of the screen, and so the red box is 10 pixels down from the top and 10 pixels to the left. The orange is 20 pixels down from the top, 20 pixels to the left, and the green is 30 pixels down from the top and 30 to the left. And that's why I end up with this rendering right here. Now, let's imagine for some reason I didn't want to change the order of these, but I wanted it to be green, orange, red. So I wanted the green to be on the top, I wanted the orange to still be in the middle, and the red to be at the bottom. Well, to do this, I can use what's called the Z-index value. And the Z-index value is, think of it as a way of indicating the height that that element gets drawn off the screen. So if we're looking at the screen from above and you think of it like having floors, the higher the Z-index, the higher the floor that that element is on. And therefore, that's the one that's going to be drawn on top of the other. So let me show you what I mean. So if I want the orange on the top, or let me see, what do I have here? I want the red on the top. So even though the red is drawn first, what I can do is I can come to the red and I can give it a Z-index value of 1,000. So I gave it some really big number. And if I refresh this, the red now gets rendered on top because it has a really high Z-index value. Meaning, again, that's really high up off the page. And then therefore, it's going to be seen above the other ones. Now you might be wondering, what is the Z-index value by default? And so if there's no Z-index value indicated, it just renders it in the order that they're actually uses that kind of ordering process. But the actual value you use doesn't really matter. I could set Z-index to 1 here and I still get the same effect. But I sometimes will use numbers that are a little larger, because let's say I said I wanted red, orange, green, right? So that means that I'm going to say, if I set the red Z-index to 10, and I set the orange Z-index to 5, and I set the green Z-index to 0, now I get the red, orange, green. Because even though I've rendered the red first, the red has the highest Z-index, so that's going to sit higher up on the page. And that's what Z-index does. It allows us to kind of state who's going to be drawn on top of who. I hope that video helped. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask.